Hello Lymanshires, so some of you may know that last week I finished an intensives camp for my students' winter break. One of the classes that I taught was a class on American sitcoms and movies in which we watched the shows and talked about the morals and really just made sure that they understood them and were thinking about them critically. Just for the record, my students really loved Full House, they really loved Sabrina the Teenage Witch, they did not understand the Cosby Show at all, and they thought that Miley Cyrus talked too fast and with a strange dialect, so they weren't big fans of Hannah Montana either. But on the last day of class, they had to make their own idea for a sitcom, and my students did such a good job that I just wanted to share it with you. The name of their sitcom is Counter-Strike. Offline. The premise is that it's a whole bunch of characters who go to a PC bong, which is kind of like an internet cafe for video games, and they go there to play Counter-Strike together and end up discovering that the zombies are real and they have to fight them off. So each of the students had to play a character, so we had to come up with a character and a storyline for each individual person, and they did such a good job with it. Our first two characters are Zach and Charles, and they are long-lost brothers that have never met before, but they meet each other in the PC bong while they're fighting off the zombies, which I think is a great storyline for any zombie apocalypse story. Next we have Mark, who doesn't really have any distinguishing characteristics, but his younger sister Rachel was turned into a zombie. Now Rachel was a very kind and loving person in her life, but when she got to be a zombie, she became this bloodthirsty killer. And of course, one of the things that she wants to do is kill her older brother, so one of the things that he has to do is kill her. Next we have James, a baby zombie who is kind but melancholic. Their words, not mine. His problem is that because he's a baby zombie, he can't get brains for himself, so he has to have other people get brains for him. For some reason, I'm suddenly really compelled by the idea of dependent zombies. It kind of pokes a hole in the traditional zombie archetype. Next we have Karen, a depressed zombie who is Z'd up at the altar at her wedding. So she wants nothing more than to find her husband and spend the rest of her days with him. Her fiance is the boss zombie, and he is really mean, and in his life he committed suicide to dodge the wedding. I know that there's a major plot hole there, but we really didn't have time to revise. But their description of his personality is very scary. It's always weird to me that they can know words like melancholic, and then when you ask them to describe the personality of the boss zombie, the only thing they can say is very scary. Anyway, the last character that they wrote about is Teacher Steve. Teacher Steve is the PC bong worker who knows that the zombies are real, so one of the services that I offer is you can buy an hour on the computer and you can also rent a gun. They had fun with my personality, not gonna lie. I'm a drunkard, I'm crippled from playing the game all the time, I smoke all the time, and I eat nothing but ramen. So that's Counter-Strike Offline. It looks like my camera is running out of batteries, so I'm gonna go and let the titles take care of the K-pop song of the day. See you guys next time.
I'm not quite good at first impressions. I'm not so strong at first sight. But if this is the first in succession, then it